Welcome back friends. Good afternoon. In this video lecture we are going to see about nutrition in plants. So in plants what kind of nutrition is taking place means autotrophic nutrition. What do you mean by autotrophic nutrition? So here you can see autotrophs. So plants are called as autotrophs. Auto means self. What do you mean by troughs? Troughs means feeding themselves. So they can nourish themselves. So only it is called as autotrophs. So plants can synthesize their own food. They will not depend on any other organism. So only they are called as autotrophic organisms. So this kind of nutrition is called as autotrophic nutrition. Whereas in human beings it is heterotrophic nutrition. For example, you can imagine a parent and a child. A parent goes for a job, he earns money, he will not depend on any other organism or any other person for his needs. He will fulfill his needs by himself. Whereas the child, he will always depend on the parent for the food, for shelter, everything. So you can relate these both. Actually here it is autotrophy. So plants can be related to the parent, whereas animals can be related to the child. So here next you can see the photosynthesis. So this is the process by which the plant is producing their food. So the process name is called as photosynthesis. So what is meant by photo? Photo means light. So with the help of the light, synthesis. Synthesis means production of food. So synthesis of food will be done with the help of the light. So only it is called as photosynthesis. So next if you see, if you take a plant and if you take the leaf, so if you are going to cut the into cross section, I will show you here. So for example, if you are taking the leaf like this and you are going to cut the leaf like this, if you are cutting, you can get the cross section of the leaf. You can clearly see this is the cross section of the leaf. So this location, if you zoom, if you view under microscope, you can see the cells clearly. So this is the diagram which shows the CS, that is cross section of the leaf. So the uppermost layer, this is called as epidermal layer. For better understanding, I can show you this notebook. So imagine this notebook as a leaf. So this is a flat leaf. You have done the cross section. After doing the cross section, so the uppermost layer, so this is the upper epidermal layer. See, these are the cells. These cells are called as upper epidermal layer, whereas the down one is called as lower epidermal layer. So this is the lower epidermal layer. On middle you will be having the mesodermal cells as well as xylem, phloem, all those things will be there. So this is the CS of the leaf. And coming into the photosynthesis, you need actually ingredients like substances. Suppose if you are cooking a food, you need some ingredients, raw materials for cooking the food. For example, rice, water, and some extra things you will be requiring. Similarly, for the synthesis of food by the plants, they require some raw materials, some substances for those purposes. So these four substances are very much important in the photosynthesis. And the first thing is CO2, that is carbon dioxide. And the second thing is H2O, water, and sunlight and chlorophyll. So these four things are very much essential for the photosynthesis process. First let's take CO2, that is carbon dioxide. Through which way the carbon dioxide will enter into the leaves, will be taken by the leaves for this process through the pathway called as this stomatal pores. So in the leaves you can see, imagine this is a leaf, this is the uppermost pore, this is the bottom portion. Usually the leaves will be having stomatal pore, more number of stomatal pore in the bottom surface. The lower surface only have more number of stomatal pore compared to the upper surface. This is why, because to reduce the amount of transpiration during daytimes, during summer, if the stomatal pores are more in number in the upper surface, what will happen? More amount of transpiration will occur, so it will lose the water and it leads to the drying of the plant also. For that purpose, you will be having stomatal pore in the lower surface only, more number of stomatal pores will be there. So the stomatal pore, so this is responsible. Through this pores, you can see here, this is upper epidermal layer, this is lower epidermal layer. Here you can see the pore. Through this pore only the exchange of carbon dioxide will be taking place. From where the carbon dioxide will be taken? From the atmosphere. From the atmosphere only what will happen? The carbon dioxide will be uptaken by the leaves through this stomatal pore. If you zoom and see, you can see the structure like this. So stomatal pore will be opening and closing. How this opening and closing will be done? With the help of the cells called as God cells. So these God cells here, and here I mentioned the God cells. When you zoom in, you can see like bean shaped cell. So this is one God cell and this is another God cell. So this God cells only help in opening and closing of the stomatal pores. For example, you can imagine this is one God cell, this is one God cell. So if it is now in closed form. So what happens when this God cells takes up the water, it will swell up like this. When it is swelling up, it will open. After opening, what will happen? The carbon dioxide will be exchanged from the atmosphere. So when the water is removed out of these God cells, again it will shrink. The cells will be shrinking and the pores will be closed. Opening and closing. Opening and closing will be done at this location. So this is about the God cells. So you can see many chloroplasts are also present in the God cells. So this pore is called as stomatal pore. So about carbon dioxide from atmosphere, it is uptaken through this stomatal pore, which is guided by this God cell. And the second thing you have to look after is water. So water, from where the water is taken? From the ground, so from the soil. From the soil only the water has been taken by the plants. You can see here from the ground the roots will be absorbing the water through xylem. That water will be transported to the leaves and other parts of the plant. So it also reaches the process where the photosynthesis is taking place. So water is taken from the soil through xylem vessel. And the next thing is sunlight. So sunlight is taken from the sun, and also the last thing is chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is the pigment which is very much essential for this photosynthesis process. So this is a green color pigment which is present in the leaves of the plants. That is why the leaf looks green in color. So these chlorophyll pigments will be present in the organelle called as chloroplast. This chloroplast will be present in the plant cells. So these chloroplast organelle consist of chlorophyll pigment. These pigments are responsible for absorbing, receiving the sunlight, trapping the sunlight for this process. So these four are very essential in the photosynthesis process. Now let's see the equation, that how it happens. You can see here carbon dioxide, water produces glucose plus oxygen. You can see here 6 molecules of CO2, carbon dioxide, combines with 6 molecules of water. So CO2 is trapped from the atmosphere through which? Through the stomatal pore, as well as water has been absorbed from the roots, soil through the roots. So what happens? This carbon dioxide will be reduced to form the starch material, that is carbohydrate. Whereas this H2O, what will happen to this H2O? You can see here the sunlight is here. With the help of the sunlight, this chlorophyll pigment will be splitting up the water molecule. So it will be splitting up into hydrogen and oxygen. So this water will be split up into hydrogen and as well as oxygen. Then what happens? Actually here 3 molecules of oxygen and 6 of hydrogen will be there. So it will be split like this. Then what happens? This oxygen will be removed from the plants, which comes out, which we are using for our respiration process. So this is that oxygen. Whereas this hydrogen will be, it will be going and joining with this carbon dioxide to form this starch material. So this hydrogen and carbon dioxide, this together forms the starch material. Whereas the oxygen which is removed, split up by this chlorophyll, will be evolving out from the plant cell which we are respiring. This is the overall equation of this photosynthesis. So now what we can say about photosynthesis? The process of formation of the carbohydrate material, maybe a starch or glucose, from where? From carbon dioxide and water in the presence of what? Sunlight as well as chlorophyll. This is called as photosynthesis. You can see here the carbon dioxide is uptaken by the plant and oxygen is removed from the plant, which we are taking for the respiration purposes, and it is producing the carbohydrates. So these carbohydrates will be utilized for their metabolic processes. Some extra carbohydrates will be stored by the plants in the form of fruits and some other products which we are taking as food. So this starch material only human beings and other organisms are utilizing for their food. So we are depending on plants for the food, so only we are called as heterotrophic organisms. So the three major steps in this photosynthesis are, the first thing is absorption. So absorption of what? Sunlight with the help of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll will be absorbing the sunlight. The second process is conversion. So what it is absorbing? Sunlight, that is light energy. The light energy will be converted into chemical energy, that is the second process. How? They will be splitting the water into hydrogen and oxygen. And the last step is reduction. Reduction in the case when hydrogen is going and adding somewhere, that process is called as reduction process. So here what happens? Hydrogen will be added up with the carbon dioxide and forms the carbohydrate. So that is the reduction process. So this is about the overall mechanism in the nutrition in plants. Thank you friends. Thank you for watching this video.